Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Yeshi Chansong. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Wednesday, the 3rd of February. Indian farmer leaders hold Grand Council meet. Anti-farm laws protest wins global attention. COVID-19 vaccination drive begins across Pakistan. And Nepal Prime Minister Oli rules out possibility of parliament revival amid political crisis. And now for all the details. Amid the ongoing farmers' protest in India against the new farm laws, a Grand Council of Farmers, the Kisan Mahapanchayat, was organized in northern Haryana state on Wednesday. The agitation has won global attention, with prominent activists joining pop superstar Rihanna in support of their months-long campaign against agriculture reforms. But India has said the intervention was irresponsible.
A large gathering of farmers, the Kisan Mahapanchayat, was held in Jind city of India's northern Haryana state on Wednesday, as farmers have been protesting against the new farm laws for over 2 months now. The event was attended by Bharatiya Kisan Union or BKU leader Rakesh Tikait among several other farmer unions leaders. Nearly 30 community groups in Haryana have extended their support to the protesting farmers. Multi-layered security has been stepped up with the deployment of extra personnel and strengthening of barricades near the farmers' protest sites at Indian capital New Delhi's borders, and thereby turning them into fortresses. The ongoing farmers' agitation in India has garnered support from international icons like Rihanna and Greta Thunberg, who, taking to Twitter on Tuesday, extended support to the farmers. Later on Wednesday, the Indian Foreign Ministry, releasing a statement, urged the foreign celebrities and entities that facts be ascertained and a proper understanding of the issue at hand be undertaken before commenting on them. The ministry categorically stated that the 3 farm laws which were passed during the monsoon session in 2020 were made laws after having a debate and discussion in the parliament.
In a veiled attack on China over the border standoff in eastern Ladakh, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Wednesday said India is ready to defeat any misadventure and defend its territorial integrity at all cost. The Defence Minister made the remarks as he inaugurated the 13th Aero India International Air Show in southern Bengaluru city.
India is vigilant and prepared to counter and defeat any misadventure to defend its people and the territorial integrity at all costs, India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh said on Wednesday amid a continued military standoff with China in the Himalayan region of Ladakh. Speaking at the inaugural ceremony of the 13th edition of the Aero India International Air Show in southern Bengaluru city, Rajnath Singh said the government is planning to spend $130 billion on defense modernization in the next 7 to 8 years. He also highlighted that India has enhanced foreign direct investment in defense by up to 74% through the automatic route and 100% through the government route.
We have long witnessed unfortunate attempts to employ force to change status quo along our unresolved border. India is vigilant and prepared to counter and defeat any misadventure to defend our people and the territorial integrity at all costs.
The Indian government on Wednesday also formally sealed a deal worth rupees 48,000 crore with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited for 83 Tejas light combat aircraft, touted as the biggest ever indigenous defense procurement program. The 3-day aerospace and defense exhibition is expected to draw over 600 Indian and foreign aviation firms and defense contractors who will showcase their products.
In news from Pakistan, Pakistan has begun nationwide coronavirus vaccination drive from Wednesday. Prime Minister Imran Khan launched COVID-19 vaccination drive with China-donated vaccines on Tuesday as part of the country's efforts to bring the pandemic under control. The vaccines will be first administered to frontline healthcare workers working with COVID-19 patients, followed by elderly in the high-risk age group.
Pakistan launched its COVID-19 vaccine drive on Tuesday at a ceremony in the capital Islamabad, attended by Prime Minister Imran Khan, in which a doctor was the first in the country to receive the shot. Around 5,000 doses of vaccine produced by Sinopharm, donated by China, had arrived in the country on a military flight on Monday, allowing authorities to kickstart a nationwide inoculation campaign that would begin with health workers. Vaccines were being transported around the country and began being administered in areas outside the capital on Wednesday.
मैं सबको जो हेल्थ वर्कर्स हैं उन सबको कहूँगा कि बहुत ज़रूरी है आपका ये वैक्सीन का टीका लगाना, क्योंकि सारी दुनिया के अंदर जो रिस्क सबसे ज़्यादा है वो हमारे हेल्थ वर्कर्स के लिए.
Pakistan has also been pledged 17 million doses of AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine under a global scheme to deliver coronavirus treatments to developing nations. Meanwhile, Pakistan, a country of 220 million people, has so far reported 549,032 COVID cases with 11,802 deaths.
Moving on, 36 U.S. Congress members have issued a letter to Pakistan's envoy to the U.S. urging the country to undertake a full review of acquittal of accused in Daniel Pearl case. This comes after Pakistan's Supreme Court on Tuesday ordered the release of Ahmad Omar Saeed Sheikh, convicted in 2002 of orchestrating the abduction and killing of Wall Street Journal reporter Daniel Pearl. A total of 36 members of the U.S. Congress on Tuesday issued a letter to Pakistan's ambassador to the United States, Asad Majid Khan, urging the country to undertake a full review of acquittal of the accused in the case of the 2002 killing of American journalist Daniel Pearl. In the letter, the U.S. lawmakers said, in pursuit of justice for Daniel Pearl and the countless others who have been murdered by acts of terrorism, it is incumbent upon us to urge you to do your utmost to ensure that the government of Pakistan conducts a full review of the acquittal in the case of Daniel Pearl. This comes after Pakistan's Supreme Court ordered the release of Ahmad Omar Saeed Sheikh, convicted in 2002 of orchestrating the abduction and killing of Wall Street Journal reporter Daniel Pearl. Last week, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said in a statement that the U.S. is prepared to prosecute Sheikh in the U.S., a position that the lawmakers strongly supported. Pakistan's Supreme Court on Tuesday ordered the release of Sheikh from prison and be transferred to a government safe house as a stepping stone to his full release after spending 18 years on death row. In 2002, Daniel Pearl was abducted and beheaded while he was in Pakistan to investigate a story of terror groups' links to Al-Qaeda. Moving on, all line department employees in illegally occupied region of Gilgit-Baltistan recently held a massive protest to raise the demand of equal pay and allowances at par with other government employees in Pakistan. Highlighting exploitation, they blame the authorities have kept on delaying the process for the past several years.
Hundreds of line department employees in the illegally occupied region of Gilgit-Baltistan recently held a protest, highlighting discrimination in salaries granted to them. The protesters said they have been long demanding equal pay, timescale and hiring and utility allowances at par with secretariat employees in Pakistan, but they have been deprived of such benefits. There are over 50,000 line department employees across Gilgit-Baltistan. The protesters said it is indeed appalling that people who have served for several years for the government have still not been given equal rights.
इस कठपुतली राज ने ये जो काम किया है उन ऑफिसरान को 45,000 से ज्यादा एग्जीक्यूटिव इंसेंटिव अलाउंस के नाम पे तनख्वाहें बढ़ाई गई और दीगर मराहत दिए गए। और बाकी गरीबों के लिए यहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं। अब इसका हल एहतिजाज है।
Locals and government workers in Gilgit-Baltistan have to often hit the streets to demand even their basic rights. People working in different government departments accuse that their long-due salary hike and promotions have met a bureaucratic blockade at the behest of the political leadership of Pakistan.
In news from Afghanistan, the Afghan Taliban has said the US must abide by their February 2020 peace deal or the agreement would be reconsidered by the militant group. This comes as a media report over the past weekend said that some NATO troops are likely to stay in Afghanistan beyond the May deadline set under the US-Taliban deal.
The Taliban has said the United States must abide by their Afghan peace deal or the agreement would be reconsidered by the militant group. During a briefing in the Iranian capital, the Taliban also denied rumors that it had any other deals with the US. A Taliban delegation had met Iranian leaders over the past weekend after the country offered help as a mediator in Afghan peace talks that have become stalled in Qatar.
میخوام ایران برای شما و مردم شریف افغانستان و همه جهانان و مردم شریف ایران بگویم که ما با امریکا هیچ اسناد پنهانی نداریم. ما دو سند داریم. یکی توافقنامه اگر حملات صورت نگیرد در او صورت ما بالای امریکا هم حمله نمیکنیم چون آنها میبرد. از این قبیل ایران ما میگیم تشریحات یا ضمایم بغیر از این هیچ سند ما نداریم.
This comes as media reports on Sunday said that some NATO troops are likely to stay in Afghanistan beyond the May deadline set by the February deal, as the Western Alliance does not believe the withdrawal conditions have been met, a move that could escalate tensions with the Taliban demanding full withdrawal. Under a February 2020 deal between the United States and the Taliban, US forces are to leave Afghanistan by May 2021 in exchange for counter-terrorism guarantees.
In news from Nepal, caretaker Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has said that the parliament would not be reinstated. Nepal has plunged into a state of constitutional crisis as Oli dissolved the lower house of the parliament last December, calling fresh elections 2 years ahead of the schedule. Meanwhile, rival faction of ruling NCP has called a general strike against Oli's decision on Thursday.
The caretaker Prime Minister of Nepal, KP Sharma Oli, has said that the parliament would not be reinstated. Oli, indicating his ruling Nepal Communist Party or NCP's co-chair Pushp Kamal Dahal, asked leaders not to dream of becoming Prime Minister by reviving the House of Representatives. He assured that snap polls would be held in Province 2 in the first phase. The remarks come as protests in the Himalayan nation against Oli's decision to dissolve the lower house of Nepali parliament continue. In the latest, a group of protesters from Student Union of NCP's rival faction on Tuesday displayed black flags as they intensified their protest against house dissolution. Nepal has plunged into a state of constitutional crisis as now caretaker Prime Minister Oli dissolved the lower house last year, calling fresh elections 2 years ahead schedule. Oli's move is being challenged in court with over a dozen cases filed in Apex Court with verdicts expected by the end of February.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. Indian farmer leaders hold Grand Council meet. Anti-farm laws protest wins global attention. COVID-19 vaccination drive begins across Pakistan. And Nepal Prime Minister Oli rules out possibility of parliament revival amid political crisis. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/AsAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @AsAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow.